Hello and welcome back to Stardew Valley. This is not really episode 3, but we'll do little mod spotlights probably. This really isn't a mod, but it is a planner. It's called Stardew Valley Planner V2. Now, the main issue with the new 1.1 update is space. As you can see, the regular layout. Oh, this is the planner, by the way. It gives you all the things that would normally be available for you to make in the farm, so you can plan out where the spaces are. I mean, it tells you exactly where you can put stuff and what's available and what's not and what fits and what's not before you actually do it, because experimenting in the game is quite expensive. You don't really want to spend all your hard-earned money figuring out that you can't get 3 barns across this area. I mean, I don't know if you can or not, but that's just for an example. Now, this is the regular starting area. This is the space you get. It's basically just a big box. I mean, normally all this stuff is filled in with trees and things that you need to clear away, but once all that is done, which will take you many, many hours, you basically have a big box. Yeah, there's some few things in the way here and there, and there's some areas you can't put stuff, and there's this little jetty which always made me mad because I had this area as my on a playthrough that I did a long time ago that was actually on YouTube. This area was my my crop farm on this side, and this thing in the way makes me really mad. It's not so much this part because it's squared off, but this area, oh, those 3 little blocks there make me so mad. So it's a big block, right? So it's really easy to plan things out because it's a big square. I mean, you can obviously count the squares and stuff like that. Hit the pause button. What I use is the old pen pad paper that had the squares on it, and I've done that for many games in my time, including Civilization and some other games like that, to figure out how far your city reaches and maximize the amount of room you have to grow. Well, you can do the same thing here, and you just, well, I know that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 by whatever, and then you can make sure that you can't make in that area, and you can plan out this little part here. And I've done that before, and it's very tedious and it takes a long time. So this is the other layouts. There's the combat layout. This is what you get. You get a large jetty here, and then lots of stuff here, a larger area here. And then, is this combat? Yeah, it's combat. And then you get this forest area down here, which is very cool looking. I mean, you can't get there, but it's very scenic. I like that. So it's a lot smaller. Also, this is combat oriented, so like zombies show up and try to kill things. So fences are important and things like that, I assume. This area is very nice. This reminds me of a fishing game I used to play a really long time ago. And then we have speaking of fishing, you have the fishing layout. So that's very little space indeed. I mean, like, there really is no place to put things here. You will not be having animals here whatsoever. And keep in mind, all this stuff is covered in trees and things. It's very hard to get around. And you get a little wharf here, which is nice. And it's pretty neat looking. I like it. But reduced area. I mean, where are you going to put all your barns? And there's no space here because grass doesn't grow on these patches, so there's no space here whatsoever to grow the hay that you need to support any large animal kind of areas. So that's pretty neat. What else do we have? And we have foraging, which I really didn't I thought it was forest, but apparently it's foraging layout. This is the one that I'm on. I chose this one because it seems to be the most area. There's the least compromise, although this green stuff here, obviously you can't plant certain things on it. But I wanted to go kind of trees, a little bit more in the line of crops, because before I did it was mostly animals. And now they buffed animals, which is great, but I've already done that, and it's fun. It's very tedious. There's a lot of time spent on the farm rather than searching around, whereas crops, once you get sprinklers down and stuff like that, you really just harvest them every 3 to 5 days or however long it takes, and then you're free to do other things. And with this one, wood is taken care of. You get 2 patches of for hardwood, plus the ones in the special forest. There's lots of foraging things, there's little bushes, those ones that I keep trying to cut down, which apparently you can cut down because they're gone here, obviously. But we might want to keep those. And there's a bit more space. Yeah, lots of water areas. And I think the dark means that actual fish spawn here, and you can put crab pots down, I believe. What else do we get? Then we have the last... No. Wait, where'd the... Oh, mining layout. Yeah, okay. There's the mining layout. There's not much room here either. Also, it's very difficult to get around. You only have this. And a lot of it's taken up with hilltop parts. And, I mean, you can't get from here across there, and you have only this little space. And this is all gone. There's no space here. There's no space there. There's no space here, really. There's a good thing is this river, people were saying, I've read, that crab pots work along here, and it's a lot of space, which is really good. So you can concentrate on fishing on this one a lot. Obviously, the fishing one has more space, but this is pretty good. And then you get a free geode farm that replenishes every now and again. Now, this is a pretty big area here, but not as much. So you can see why this planner would be really good. So if you go into buildings and you go to, like, a stable, and it brings up a stable, how big it is, or you go to a barn and say, I wonder if that barn will fit there. And you say, well, can I get that many barns in there? And you say, yeah, if I put another barn there and another barn here, one over, and then I go to a coop, does it fit there? No, then I don't have a way up. So you got to figure out how you're going to actually be able to fit that. There's the mill, you can put that there, or the shed. And you say, the shed doesn't fit, so I've got to put it here so that I actually have enough room. Jumo Hut is pretty big. Slime Hutch, Water Obelisk. I mean, I don't want to give away what some of this stuff is, but say maybe, you need to put a silo here. Yeah, you could put one silo there, then you have a way to get up through in here. Maybe you could put some chests here. You go equipment. Chest. I don't know how to make it so it does multiple ones. It might be just Google Chrome is not necessarily the best browser in the world, and this thing doesn't really run super good. But there you can go. You can say, and you want terrain. Say you want roads, cobblestone. And you say, yeah, that's pretty good. That looks great like that. There you go. I mean, it does copy over certain areas, and it's hard to eraser. Obviously, you can't put that stuff there. But see, there you go. That looks pretty neat. And that gives you a start. I say you can fit that many barns there, and it works. You have a way to get out back and up and around, and you can even figure that maybe I can fit some kegs out back here, and I'll put those there. Or if you want to go more with buildings, you can think, well, maybe I want to be able to get to my water source, so I can put a well there, and that'll fit, and you can still get around there. And you go, what about a coop? Will a coop fit back here? It will fit back here. So there you go. Now you can fit a coop. So now you have 3 barns and a coop, a well, an area to get there, and nice pathing and space to put certain little items here and there. And you can even fit more into there. So you can get quite a bit of stuff in here. And then you'd need to use the rest of the entire farm, because it's quite small of this area. If you had these barns filled with animals, there's no way you could support it with the amount of space you have here. Because all this grass along this area, you can't actually plant the kind of stuff you want there. It's a really great tool, and I think it's really interesting that somebody has come out with this. And it's all free. You can do whatever you want. And he updates it so far fairly often, and it's been here for quite some time, since March. I mean, it's really useful now. It was useful before, and I've seen it, but it's really useful now, seeing as the limited space that you have on the different layouts. Unofficial layout, wonderful farm. Oh, okay, that's an unofficial one. So then you can go eraser tool. I'm sure you can reload, and it'll just go away. So that's the difference between the farms. It's good to see a big overview of them too. You can actually see how much less. I actually really like the combat layout. I think it's very pretty. And I like this area here. That's really cool looking. And this that you get down here, very neat. Unfortunately, you get attacked all the time, so it's not very good. I wish that maybe there's an option you can turn that off. The fishing layout. It's cool. It's cool to see how much area you actually get taken away. I'd say it's probably half the tiles for the fishing area. It really has nothing to do with actually farming. It's more about fishing. It's pretty neat, and it shows you where you can get down there. It's pretty. I mean, and it's a useful tool for actually planning out. So you can figure out, well, maybe I can get one of those. Can I get the 6? I screwed that up already. Can you get the 6x6 or the 3x3 thing in this little area? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you can get in there and have one little space along here as a walkway. Obviously, that's crops, not a walkway. But you can figure out, you can fit one, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you can fit 2 of those 3x3 blocks in this area. And you don't have to go in the game and waste your game time walking around and trying to figure out making ridiculous things on paper like I did. So you can fit 2 in there, and that's great. You can probably fit 1 up here. So it would be like a pretty sustainable farm to start off early on. I mean, like later on, there's no area here. Whereas in the main start off map, like you don't really have to worry about it. Really, you can do absolutely everything with the regular farm start off, and you don't have to worry about space. Yeah, the first time I played, I squandered tons of space. This was my like construction area, and this is my beehive area, and then I had strictly I had chicken coops here, and then this was all sectioned up, was all crops over on this side. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm excited to try out the coffee, and I'm just excited to try out the you can add mead. Mead is more complicated now because there's an aging process apparently, so it's pretty neat. So we'll definitely get into that and see how all that works. I still think we're gonna keep the episodes to one day at a time and just plug along like that. It's actually not that slow. There might be sections where, especially during the grinding through the mine, that I might skip some episodes while I grind through that, because I usually end up do that in late fall to winter and just burn through the whole thing before the year is up. Anyway, that is stardewvalley.info/planner. I will put a link in the description so you can come here. Make sure to bookmark it, because this is very useful, and especially if you're trying to max min your new layouts, this is definitely an asset for you, and hopefully you'll be able to use it. I don't know, I might not do too many mod/helper spotlights, but there's definitely some that are, as far as I'm concerned, a necessity, and this is definitely one of them. Hopefully I'll see you next time for episode 3, which will be coming along shortly. I'm Zeus for Olympus Gaming, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.